Hey, what's up players? At the end of the video, I will share with you who are my mains in fighting games, at least most fighting games. If there is one thing that makes fighting games great, it is definitely the characters. Unless you main random select, typically when you start a game, there is gonna be at least one or two characters to catch your eye. Maybe you think they look cool. Maybe you saw a really sick combo video and you're like, I gotta learn how to do that. Or maybe your favorite content creator told you a character was top tier. Hey, no judgments. Regardless, fighting game characters are powerful. They're enough to make you drop a game or enough to sell copies. I still remember that whole thing with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite where one of the devs, when questioned why the X-Men characters couldn't be part of the roster, said that, people don't really care about having Magneto or whoever in the game. As long as we have a character that serves the same function, players don't care. And as it turns out, players do care. So yeah, it's pretty clear that fighting game characters matter a lot with fighting games. However, the thing that I want to keep in mind is that, yes, these guys are so cool, but you are more than just the character that you main. I know it's like a huge thing for either branding reasons or just identity reasons to have your identity be whoever you play in a fighting game, but Jesus is more interested in having a relationship with you and your heart rather than who you're good with. That's not to say that you can't be a fan of the characters that you play, far from it, but there is a fine line between being a fan of the character that you play and making them an idol in your life. That's not for me to decide what that line is. That's definitely between you and your relationship with God. But if you don't have a relationship with God, give him a chance. But alright, with that being said, who do I main in fighting games? So I'll start with Virtual Fighter because Virtual Fighter is one of my favorite fighting game series. I would say I'm a Pai Chan main. Smash Brothers, if we're talking when I started competing in Smash Brothers tournaments, I was a Wii Fit main.
Step up the intensity.
Which is funny because I did not initially think that I would be a Wii Fit main until I saw TK Breezy do really well with her, and before I knew it, I was watching his videos and different videos on how to do well with this character, was amazed at the stuff that she could do, and I was hooked. In Tekken, I'm a Lily main.
Tu ne crois sûrement pas que tu peux me battre.
I do want to explore Elisa and Lee, but for right now, I'm mostly focusing on Lily. Guilty Gear, if we're talking Guilty Gear Strive, it's Ino.
ブリッジくらいにはなったわ。
Previous Guilty Gears, I honestly don't know if I have a main yet because I haven't put in enough time into Xrd and plus R to really find a character that I gel with, because as you know, Strive changed a lot of how the characters play in previous games, so even if you play one character in one version of the game, doesn't mean that they're gonna play the same in Strive. So still figuring out with plus R and Xrd. But for Strive, with the very short time that I played BlazBlue, I think the two characters that I would say I mained were Taokaka and Celica. I'm not a huge NRS guy, but I will admit I was really into Injustice 1. The two characters that I really enjoyed playing were Green Lantern and Aquaman. And if you know Injustice 1, there's only one reason you play Aquaman. In Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, you already know I main Charlotta. With Street Fighter, it's kind of a weird case because before 6, I had no idea who my main was. Honestly, even with 6, it took me a long time to finally figure out who my mains are. But I guess if I had to choose, Street Fighter 2, probably my favorite was Fei Long. In Street Fighter 3, Third Strike. Deep down, I want to main Dudley, but realistically, I found that I'm far better with Remy. As simple as his game plan is, I can at least play with him even though he's not that great in Third Strike. 4, I honestly don't know if I have a main. I don't think I ever actually figured that out. 5, it took me a long time to figure that out because I think I started off with Falk and then I switched to Cody. Probably would still do Cody, but I think what I ended up sticking with was Menat. I really hope they add her back into Street Fighter 6. I don't know how she will do with Drive Rush being a thing, but it'd be cool to see her back. As for Street Fighter 6, let me tell you. So before the game came out, the character that I was most excited for was Manon. I don't know, to me she seemed really cool, and I don't know if this makes sense to anyone else but me, but to me she kind of reminds me of an SNK character. Like, I don't know, I kind of get the vibe that she's a character that would fit in perfectly in KOF. Anyway, she was my first main, but very early on I could tell that I was gonna hit a wall with this character. Even before all the tier lists were coming out with people putting her in bottom tier or calling her the worst character in the game, I just knew from my experience playing her that even though I was doing pretty decent online in the lower ranks, it's kind of a struggle to win with her sometimes, and there was no way that I could confidently solo main her, which was really tough because this is the character I was most looking forward to playing. So I then switched to Chun-Li. I was never a Chun main in previous Street Fighter games, but I don't know, in this game she seemed kind of cool to me. I really liked the idea of her Serenity Stream stance. To me, it seemed like she had a ton of untapped potential because there weren't a lot of big players picking her up in the beginning. And to me, it seemed like she was in a pretty good spot, at least in the early game. She didn't have anything that was outright broken, but she wasn't bad. And she was like above mid tier. So in my mind, I felt that she was in a pretty good spot to not get nerfed. I decided to go with Chun, and I cannot lie, it has been a struggle these past few months playing as Chun. I cannot for the life of me do her Serenity Stream stance combos consistently. It was really frustrating. My neutral was terrible with her, I had no idea how to use her fireballs properly, and honestly, it just felt like I did not know how to play this character the right way. And it was getting discouraging because for like several months I felt like I was just always at square one. But the tough thing is that I spent several months of this game playing this one character, hoping I would get better, but not getting anywhere. It was hard. Like, I already had to drop one character very early on in the game, and now I'm just now deciding several months into this game that this is not it for me. Honestly, I was so close to just dropping Street Fighter 6 because Grand Blue Fantasy vs Rising came out, and I was having a lot of fun with that, and then in the distance was Tekken 8 and Under Night 2. But I decided to give Street Fighter a little bit more of a chance, so I decided to workshop again, and now I think I finally found not just one, but two characters that actually work with me a lot. One character being Lily.
I'm ready.
It's ironic because I'm essentially trading a high tier character for a low tier character, but maybe that's what I need. It's a character that is just straightforward, I don't have to think too much, and I can just focus on other things. I am not kidding when I say in the short time that I've played Lily, I've done consistently better with her than I ever did with Chun in the several months that I played just her. There are things that she definitely needs help with, which is why I'm hoping that this balance patch really helps her out a lot. But at least right now, I find her a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and the other character that I'm really enjoying is Rashid.
And cut! Hope the camera got my good side.
Which is funny because how that started was that I actually did not like Rashid. I did not like him in Street Fighter 5, and he was really frustrating to fight against in 6. What I decided to do was, because I didn't understand how this character worked, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna play this character for a little bit just so that I can understand how he works, understand what Rashid players are looking for, and this will help me understand how to beat him. But then as it turns out, the more I started playing him, the more I actually started to like him, and before I knew it, I became a huge fan. Also, I'll admit, I'm carried by Yasar, aka Rashid level 2. It's fun, what can I say? Also, Rashid is a streamer, so yes, he's just like me, for real. That's another reason I picked him. Alright, I think that covers most of my mains in fighting games. Comment down below, let me know who do you main. If you're looking for a non-dominational church, down in the description below will be a link to our church locator. And if you're interested in hanging out, link to my Discord is also down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, peace.